Right now, as you're watching this, there is a good chance that a massive chunk of your emails are landing in your customers' spam folders. And the worst part, Klaviyo's dashboard is still going to show you a delivered status and green check marks. But delivered and landed in the main inbox are completely different things. Think of it like this. You hire a delivery driver to bring a package to your customer's front door. The driver marks the delivery as complete, but instead of placing it at the front door, he tossed it in the dumpster behind the building. Technically delivered, but practically useless. That's exactly what's happening to your emails right now, and it's costing you tens of thousands of dollars every single month. In this video, you'll learn how much poor deliverability is costing your business, how to know if you have good deliverability using free tools, and no, Klaviyo cannot tell you. You'll also learn how to dramatically improve your deliverability using sunset flows, and how to have weekly, monthly, and quarterly checks to make sure that your emails are seen by as many people as possible. So let's get straight into it. So why would you want to listen to me? My name is Hussam. I've been in business for 16 years and in e-com specifically for over 12. I've had my own stores in the past as well, one which I was able to scale from 0 all the way to 7 figures in less than 16 months with a very, very minimal budget. I've also spent millions on paid media for my own stores as well as for my clients in the past. And over the past few years, I've helped 40 plus brands generate tens of millions of dollars in extra revenue using email and SMS. So why deliverability matters more than anything else? If your emails are not hitting the main inbox, then literally nothing else matters. I've talked to a lot of e-com brand owners in the last few years, and most of them have no idea that they have poor deliverability. So they are investing these resources into crafting the perfect emails, and then they are just sending them to the void. So check out this example here. Scenario number 1, we are sending an email to an email list of 10K subscribers, and then we have poor deliverability. Let's say 30% of our subscribers are going to see our email, and let's assume that the revenue per recipient is about 50 cents. That means that the email is going to generate $1,500. Now let's say that we send the exact same email to the exact same list, but instead we have better deliverability. So instead of 30% of people seeing our email, now 70% of people are going to be seeing our email. And let's assume that we have the exact same revenue per recipient. This particular email in scenario number 2 is going to generate $3,500. That's $2,000 from just one campaign. Let's assume that you are sending 10 emails per month. That means that you are losing out on $20,000 monthly. And let's extrapolate that to a year, which means that you are sending 120 emails. That means that you're potentially losing out on $240,000 every single year because you have poor deliverability. And that doesn't even count flows. This is only lost revenue coming through campaigns. So this gets very, very painful, especially as you invest more and more into acquisition at top of funnel traffic. So let's say that you are investing resources into search engine optimization, or maybe partnerships, or even paid traffic on Meta and Instagram. And then you are driving that traffic to the website and trying to capture as much of it as possible into subscribers that you can nurture and eventually turn into repeat customers. But if you have poor deliverability, then all of that investment is going to go into waste because most of your audience or subscribers are not going to be seeing your emails. So instead of your emails landing in the main inbox, they will be landing in the promotions tab, or even worse, the spam folder. So let's talk about problem number 1, which is delivered does not equal inbox. And if you check your campaign stats, for example, on Klaviyo, you will see that your campaigns are most likely delivered to 99% to 100% of your audience. But that does not mean that all of the emails have actually landed in the main inbox. That just means that Klaviyo has sent your email to 100% of the subscribers that you are targeting. Problem number 2 is that there is no native testing. Klaviyo relies on positive feedback loops and negative feedback loops. And these are positive engagement metrics like open rate, click rate, etc. and negative metrics like unsubscribe rate, bounce rate, and spam complaint rates. And then they give you a score based on those metrics. So they don't know exactly how many of your emails are landing in the main inbox or the promotions tab or the spam folder, but then they can give you a proxy estimate based on your engagement metrics. So we will see here we had an account that had a deliverability score of 24, which is really, really poor. So anything below 50% is really, really bad. And you will see that their open rate was 14.4%, click rate was 0.79%, the bounce rate was super high at 1.43%, etc. So they had a lot of negative metrics and no positive metrics. You can see in the middle here an account with a score of 60 in terms of deliverability. So this is not great. Anything between 50 to 75% is actually still pretty poor. And what we consider good is actually anything above 75%. So we'll see on the left here is a screenshot from one of our clients. He has a score of 96 out of 100. And you will see that the open rate is pretty good at 43%. Click rate is 4.48%, bounce rate 0.12, super low, and subscribe is 0.15, while the benchmark is 0.3. So it's basically half of what the benchmark is. And spam complaint rate is at 0.8 0.004, which is way less than 0.01%. So this is the second problem, is that Klaviyo only uses proxy engagement metrics to determine your deliverability score, but they cannot know for sure whether your emails are landing in the main inbox or not. Let's talk about problem number 3, which is that deliverability is actually a black box, and most email agencies will never tell you that there is no way to know for sure if your emails are landed in the main inbox or not. And why is that? It's because email apps like Gmail, Yahoo, and Apple do not want to share their deliverability algorithms and show you exactly how they decide where your email is going to land. The reason for this is very simple, because if they share that data tomorrow morning, then by the evening, scammers are going to figure out ways to circumvent that algorithm, and your inbox is going to be filled with Viagra ads. That's also why Google never shares how their search engine ranking algorithms work. So let's talk about why Klaviyo's metrics are very misleading, because Klaviyo relies, as we mentioned before, on engagement signals. So open rates, for example, is not as reliable as they used to be because of Apple's main privacy protection feature. So anyone who has that feature enabled cannot really be tracked. So if you send an email to those people, then it's going to be marked as opened even if they never opened that email. After that feature came out, we started relying more on click rates to determine whether we have good engagement or not. However, in the last few years, that has been ruined as well because click rates are not as reliable as they used to be. So a couple of years ago, I remember we had an account where we had a click rate of 12 or 13%, which was ridiculous. And then we talked to Klaviyo and they said there are a lot of bots that are diluting that data. And these bots are not only from spammers or something like that. They could be from email providers as well. Email apps like Hotmail or Microsoft, for example, use bots to try to verify the links inside of your emails to make sure that they are legit before they actually land your email in the main inbox so people can click on them. They are just trying to do this to protect their users. So in short, there is no way for Klaviyo to know for sure if your emails are hitting the main inbox or not. So you send an email, for example, you get some engagement. If it's positive engagement, you have more positive metrics than negative metrics, then Klaviyo is going to give you a score based on that. But if you start having negative engagement, then Klaviyo is going to give you a lower score because of that. So in order for you to know exactly where you stand, so if you have an open rate above 33%, click rate above 1 or 1.2%, bounce rate below 1%, and subscribe rate below 0.3%, and spam complete rate below 0.01%, then you are sending positive feedback metrics to these email apps, and they are more likely to land your emails in the main inbox. However, if your open rate is below 33%, click rate is below 1.2%, bounce rate is above 1%, and subscribe rate above 0.3%, and spam complete rate is above 0.01%, then email providers are more likely to start landing your emails in the promotions tab or the spam folder. So how do you know exactly if you have good or bad deliverability? The first thing is to check your domain health and reputation. Your sending domain is basically your credit score. So the better that score is, the more of your emails are going to be landed in your customer's main inbox. So I have a couple of tools that I really like here. The first one is going to be MX Toolbox, and the second one is going to be Google Postmaster. So you go to mxtoolbox.com and then you will see the menu here. The first one is the super tool. So this includes all the lookup tools that they have. They have CNAME lookup, they have DNS check, they can check for your domain health, for DKIM, for DMARC, etc. The one that I would like to look at the moment is called email health here, and you can type in your website here. For example, I'm going to type in our website here and then click check email health and see what it comes back with. So yeah, you will notice here in terms of problems, we don't have any errors. We only have 7 warnings and we passed 429 checks here, which is really good. In terms of blacklist, we passed 355 checks, which means that we are not on any known blacklists. And the mail server, we have 5 warnings, but we passed 52. So generally speaking, we are doing very well. We have some warnings, but it's nothing major here. And this is very useful if you find that your website is blacklisted on any of these lists or something like that, then that should give you a clue of what the next steps should be. There are a ton of other tools that you can use as well, which are very, very useful. One of them could be the DMARC lookup tool here. So all you have to do is type in your domain name. So this is the same domain name that you use to email your subscribers, and click DMARC lookup. And then it's going to tell you exactly if you have DMARC set up. You can do the same thing with DKIM and other email authentication protocols as well. So this is the first tool here, is going to give you an idea whether your domain is blacklisted or maybe you have any major errors here. The second one is called Google Postmaster Tools, and this one is by Gmail, and it's going to give you a ton of data and diagnostics. You will see here that it says learn from Gmail delivery errors, spam reports, feedback loops, and more. So the same feedback loops that we talked about before, positive and negative, and it's also going to give you reports on errors and stuff like that. However, you need to set it up first. So you click on get started, follow the instructions, connect your domain, and then you will start getting these reports. The cool thing about this tool is that it's going to check your website and let you know exactly if everything is set up correctly, whether it's DMARC records, DKIM, etc. So this is very, very useful. So the second thing you need to do in order for you to know exactly whether your emails are landing in the main inbox or not is an inbox placement test. I have a couple of tools here. Both of them are free. The first one is called Mail Reach. This is a free inbox placement testing tool. And the second one is called Glock Apps. This can give you a provider by provider breakdown, for example, between Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, etc. So for this tool, for example, all you have to do is go to mailreach.co and then click on this button here that says take a free spam test. Then all you have to do is basically follow these steps. So the first step is to open the email inbox that you are using on your klaviyo.com. It could be, for example, support@yourdomain.com. The second thing is to come here and copy this code here inside of an email that you are about to send. So you basically click new email like you are about to send an email and then copy this text here inside of the email. The third thing is to copy all of these emails and insert them into the send to field. So you are basically sending one email to all of these emails from this tool here. And the way it works is that this tool is going to check all of these inboxes and see where these inboxes have placed your email, whether they placed it in the promotions tab, the main inbox, or the spam folder. So I just went ahead and sent an email to all of these emails here and included this code, and it could be anything. So you can say, hey, John, in the subject line, and then any type of text, hey, are you up for dinner tonight, or something like that. And then you can post this code here at the bottom of the email and then send it to all of these emails. So let's go and click on get your free spam report here. And then you can select whether you want to see results by professional inboxes, personal inboxes, or all types. So as you can see here, it gave me a 9.7 score out of 10, which is actually pretty good. So you scroll down here, you see by inbox providers, for example, Google Professional. These are emails on particular domain names. So I landed in the inbox for all of them. You will see Microsoft Office 365, also professional emails. I landed in the inbox for all of them. You can also see that I landed in the inbox for Google personal accounts as well. And the same thing for Microsoft personal accounts. So I'm landed in the inbox for most of these providers. However, I see that one email, which is from a Yahoo account, has actually landed in spam, which means that I might have an issue with Yahoo not showing my emails. So then I can take the steps that I'm going to be talking about shortly to address that issue. So you can also go back here and click on content analysis. So you will see here that all green check marks here, so there are no problems with the content that I sent. And then the setup analysis, so this is very, very useful. It's similar to the Google Postmaster tool. So your email server IP is not listed on any significant blacklists, which is good. Your domain isn't listed in any blacklist. Well done. SPF check is good. DKIM, DMARC, so everything is set up correctly on my domain here. So let's go to the second tool and try to set up a test there as well. So for Glock Apps, they do it a little bit differently here. So they give you a custom email address here that you can send an email to in order for them to do a free spam check for you. So I just went ahead and sent an email to this custom email address, and I sent it from my own email, hussam@powermymarketing.com. Let's click free spam check here. So it'll take a little bit of time to analyze this. So the report is ready, and you can scroll down here to this deliverability section. You will see that I landed in the main inbox for Outlook or Microsoft. I didn't land in the tab. This is the promotions tab, for example, in any of the providers. However, there is some consistency here. So you will see that my email has landed actually in spam with Yahoo, which is consistent with the previous app that we have checked. And for AOL, it says missing here for some reason. So this could be a technical issue that the email has not been sent to the AOL address. The good signs is that it says spam assassin likes your email. So I don't have any red flags here, which is really good. And I'm also not on any major blacklist. So this is very, very telling, and it's going to give you a lot of insights of how you should approach your deliverability. So you can click also on content analysis here. Yeah, everything looks good here, healthy, 100% supported. So there are no issues. Authentication records is the same as the previous tool as well. So yeah, it seems that I have some issues with Yahoo Mail not delivering my emails into the main inbox. And this is the email that I use for our agency. So I don't use it to send the email to my subscribers or anything like that. I use a different domain for that. But yeah, this is really good to know. So let's talk about the biggest problem I see in the accounts I audit. So I audited hundreds of Klaviyo accounts in the last few years. And one of the biggest issues that I see in all of these accounts is that they send their emails to their entire lists most of the time. And this is really, really bad. It's actually one of the biggest red flags I see in these accounts, because if you have a lot of unengaged or lapsed subscribers on your Klaviyo account, the first thing is that it's going to run up your Klaviyo bill. And the second thing is that it's going to kill your domain reputation if you are targeting a lot of those unengaged and lapsed subscribers as well. So this is going to ruin your deliverability. And the way we like to do it is to try to send the majority of the emails only to the most engaged subscribers. So there is a time and place for you to target your entire list. Typically, we do it once or twice a year, for example, during busy periods like Black Friday. However, However, we try to do it methodically. So we start the warm-up process maybe 2 or 3 weeks before, and then email our clients' entire list with the biggest offer that we typically run during that Black Friday. However, for the rest of the year, we try to focus on the most engaged subscribers. So we create these segments based on 2 elements. The first one is going to be behavior. This is basically the action that they have taken, whether it's they engaged with your email or your website. For example, they visited your website, they browsed the product, they category, they added to cart, they initiated checkout, they placed an order, they opened an email, clicked an email, etc. So this is the behavior, and we link it to recency. For example, someone who just initiated checkout and abandoned is much warmer and high intent than someone who initiated checkout 2 weeks ago. So you combine these two together, and then you have a segment that you can target with your email campaign. So we like to do tiered engagement windows as well, focus on people who engaged with your website and your email program in the last 30 days. These could be people who opened your email, who clicked your email, who subscribed to your list, or visited your website, or maybe even placed an order in the last 30 days. We like to do 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, and 365 days as well. And we try to target different segments with different email campaigns. So for most of our email campaigns, we try to focus on engaged 90 days or 120 days. But if we have a new product launch or a big sale or something like that, then we try to expand to 180, 365, or even more. One important thing that I see a lot of brands miss is they don't actually exclude unengaged and also negative subscribers from their sends. So unengaged could be anyone who didn't engage with your emails in the last year or maybe 2 or 3 years. Let's say the simplest form of it is anyone who received 10 emails, but they have never opened and they have never clicked on any of these emails. And you can do it in the last year, 2 years, etc. Negative segments could be someone who bounced, for example, whether it's a soft bounce or hard bounce. So if someone bounced more than a couple of times, then it's going to be really good to exclude them from your email campaigns. Otherwise, they're going to tank your deliverability. This could also be someone who unsubscribed from your list or marked you as spam as well. So aside from proper segmentation, we like to set up what's called a sunset flow in order for us to try to re-engage lapsed subscribers or unengaged subscribers. And if it's not possible to do that, then we try to suppress them to save on our Klaviyo bill and protect our deliverability. So typically, if someone enters an unengaged segment, for example, people who received 10 emails in the last year or 2 and they have not interacted with any of them, we send them an email saying, hey, breaking up with us or something like that. And the objective is to try to get them to re-engage. For example, click on that email so they exit this flow here and they go into our engaged segment so we can target them with future campaigns. And then we wait 5 days, we send a second email, for example, last chance, if you're not interested in receiving any emails from us. If they click on that email, then again they exit this sunset flow and they join our engaged subscribers. And if they don't interact with this email at all, then we just go ahead and suppress them. So the objective of this flow is to re-engage lapsed subscribers or unengaged subscribers, or remove them altogether if they don't respond. And the second objective is to lower your Klaviyo bill, because Klaviyo bills you on the number of active profiles you have on your account, whether they are engaged or unengaged. So we try to clear our list in order for us to save on Klaviyo bill for our clients. And the second objective is to protect your deliverability. If you're consistently sending emails to unengaged and lapsed subscribers and they are not interacting with them, that means that you're sending negative feedback loops or negative signals to these email apps like Gmail and Yahoo, because they are seeing that a lot of your subscribers are not opening, clicking, or interacting with your emails. Then they are more likely to start landing more and more of your future emails into the promotions tab or the spam folder. So we typically like to do weekly, monthly, and quarterly checks as well to make sure that our clients' emails are seen by as many people as possible. So weekly checks, we like to take a look at campaign analytics and see the performance, and then check provider breakdown. So whenever you send a campaign and then wait a couple of days, you can see exactly what's your open rate by provider, whether it's Gmail, Hotmail, or Apple Mail. You can see exactly whether you have a good open rate or bad open rate. So generally speaking, if you see below 25% on any of these email providers, then you have an issue with that. And what we typically do is we start excluding that email provider. For example, let's say we have an open rate of 15% on Yahoo. We exclude those people and focus only on the most engaged segment, whether it's engaged in the last 30 days. Try to get that open rate or engagement high for Yahoo. And then once it's back to normal, then we can start re-including them into our main campaigns with the rest of the inbox providers. In terms of monthly, we like to check for deliverability score and also do a mail reach test to make sure that our emails are actually landing in the main inbox for all of these email providers. And for quarterly, we like to do a domain health audit and run a re-engagement or suppression campaign. We like to do this sometimes on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. It depends on how big your email list is and the volume of subscribers that you typically get. So if you're interested in a free deliverability and complete email audit, then we're happy to offer it to you completely free of charge, where we show you exactly what's missing in your account, what could be improved, and how much more revenue you'll be able to generate when all of the improvements are implemented. So if we are a good fit, then it's great. If we're not, then at least you're going to walk away with actionable advice that will help you generate more revenue for your e-com brand from email and SMS. So all you have to do is click on the link in the description to schedule a quick call with me. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. See you in the next one.